Although I guess you guys can probably hear me, can't you? If I talk and you're watching the video, you can probably hear me now. Of course, I can't hear you because I've got my volume turned down, otherwise I get feedback. Yeah, too much feedback. Got to figure that one out. It's weird because when I'm looking at the YouTube on my screen, it's reversed. So for instance, the VE3 LKS is backwards for me, but I guess it's the right way around for you guys. Perfect. That's all that matters. I can always go back to the software that I'm actually using. It's called IV-Cam. You'll see it up in the corner there. And it's the right way around, but when I look at YouTube, it's the opposite, but you guys are seeing it the right way around. So yeah, very confusing. Oh, and there's my son calling me a nerd. Caleb, someday you will be smart enough to be an amateur radio operator. There's always one in every crowd. Now we got two because Scotty's in there too. Well, someone's chunking the repeater good. Get my nerd cup up here. How's that, son? Do you like that? It even says North Shore Amateur Radio Club on it. Gotta love it. I should be selling merch on here, man. Since we can't have a ham fest, maybe I can sell merchandise. Okay, good Friday evening, everybody. We made it through another week, surviving the COVID virus, and we're just getting ready to start our net. No, sorry, not net. I keep on telling everybody it's not a net, and what do I say? It's a net. It's a rag chew. So it's an informal rag chew. We just get together, have a good chat, talk about anything and everything, and just make sure that everyone out there is doing well, and if they need any help, this is a good time. They can pop up and ask for someone to assist them. You know, if you need toilet paper or groceries or whatever, we'd be more than happy to help out. So this is Laird, VE3 LKS, and I guess I can start taking check-ins now.
Victor Echo 3, Lima, Sierra Oscar Mobile. Victor Echo, Papa Whiskey Juliet. VE3 Alpha Sierra. Victor Echo 3, Juliet Alpha Radio. Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet.
Okay, I've got VE3 LSO Lee. I've got VE3 PWJ Peter. I've got VE3 CRU, that's Bill. I'm getting pretty good with these calls. VE3 JAR, that's Vic. And VE3 VGJ Joe. And I know there was a couple more in there, but people were doubling a bit. So the ones I missed, please come again.
VE3 CWR. VE3 LWJ.
Okay, I've got VE3 CWR Gerard. That's a mighty fine, good sounding radio you got going tonight again. And VE3 LWJ Larry. Anybody else on frequency that wants to jump into the rag chew at this time?
VE3 IRB. VA3 Romeo Tango Victor.
Okay, that time I got VE3 IRB Robert and VA3 RTV Jeffrey, but I know there was at least one other station in there. Let's try that again.
VA3 TTS.
Okay, I copied Steve VA3 TPS, and there was another station in there. I think I heard a kilowatt in there, but it's awfully scratchy. Let's try one more time. Okay, I'm going to say Victor Echo 3 kilowatt Zulu Tango. Is that correct? Okay, having an awful time hearing you. So I'm not sure where you're located. If you're in a car, maybe the closer you get to Oshawa, the better we'll be able to hear you. And if you're at home, maybe you can adjust. If you've got a beam, you can adjust it. Our tower is located just north of Oshawa. So with that, we're going to go back to the top of the list. We'll get started here. And we'll start it off with Lee, VE3LSO. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we are streaming this again tonight on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com and then simply put in my call sign in the search. So look for VE3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, and you will come up to the live feed, and you'll be able to watch it online too. I believe there's about a 3-second delay. So if you're listening to it online and have your radio on, it's going to throw you off a bit. Lee, take it away, sir. And Lee, I don't know if you heard, but man, I made this fantastic contact the other night on FT8.
Lord, well, I didn't hear. I saw the epic contact that you made at FT8. May have been the second ever contact.
No,
to the far reaches of Pontypool, Ontario.
Connected.
Going up on my program there, so thanks very much for that. Okay. The other epic moment that I've had this week is I finally found toilet paper. Yep. Found a fresh skid there at the Shoppers Drug Mart in Whitby up at Garden and Taunton, so I am good to go for as long as I need it. All stocked up with that. Other than that, had a pretty good day. with the weather cooperating quite nice. It was gorgeous out. So did some training with the dog. And now just headed home. I'm going to flip over to Lindsay for a little bit. I should be back before my next call. I'm just going to chat with my dad up in Bancroft. The Lindsay and Bancroft repeaters are connected, so I'm going to talk with him there. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Laird. The 3 LSO.
Oh, okay, very good, Lee. Well, that's good to know, and that's going to spark questions from Joe later on, because he's got a cottage up near there, I'm sure. So you'll want to get some details on that. Very good, Lee. And yeah, it was nice making that contact on FT8. And now, do you QSL via the Bureau or direct? Hi.
Not really versed enough in that in order to know what you're asking. I thought we just connected on the logbook. Is there more?
Oh, some of the guys get fancy and send a card as well. It's like a little postcard. I can show you sometime what they look like. Okay, good luck chatting with your dad there, Lee, and hit him up for a few bucks, because that's all my kids ever want to do too. VE3 PWJ Peter.
Well, good evening, Laird, and all the good folks on the repeater there tonight. It's a nice evening out there. I just finished fighting with the barbecue, putting the handle back on it. That thing was never been the best of barbecues, but anyway, we got our back together, so we did win. And how did you make out with the Mazda today, Laird? Over to you, sir. I hope you have a lot of checker-inners.
Well, the Mazda is still sitting over in the garage for the weekend. The reason being is they had the pump for it. It ended up being the fuel pump. I checked the fuse and some other things this morning. That was not the case, so I had it towed over to a garage. It was a fuel pump, but when they went to put the fuel pump in, there's a ring that goes around the tank, between the tank and the fuel pump, and it was all corroded, so they had to put a new one in. And Mazda didn't have any in stock, a little $12 part, and now I got to wait till Monday or Tuesday for them to get it in. So luckily, Connie's not going to work right now. She's just working from home, so I've still got a vehicle I can get back and forth to work on. But other than that, life is good. And Lee mentioned toilet paper. I know No Frills had some up here at the King and Town line, and Walmart had a huge whack of it. So if you're looking for some, that may be a good place to go. VE3 CRU, Bill.
Okay, VE3CRU here. I've got a problem there. I tried to start the car. I tried it earlier. It didn't want to start. I tried the battery. Now it's not starting it. So I'm going to start it if Jack Wild came in there. But first I'm going to get under the engine hood and double check, see what's going on here. As I say, I may have to have this thing towed somewhere at some point there. But anyway, back to that.
Okay, very good, Bill. Well, I hope you find the issue there. It seems like it seems to be the issue of the week is vehicles, not radios, vehicles. Yeah, I'm sure Jack will be on a bit later. He usually tries to pop in here. VE3 JAR Vic, and how's things going there in downtown Oshawa?
Oh, they're going, and nice and slow. Blue skies, sunshine. What more can we ask for March 27th? And not really a whole lot to report. Worked the new country on 24 megs or 12 meters, J68. So anyways, things are progressing. Only another eight to go on 30 meters. So the countdown is on. Other than that, very good evening to everybody else, and we'll probably be getting out of here and do something in the other room of 83 JAR.
Okay, very good, Vic. Yeah, you got to get that other 8 before the end of the month, hi. And yeah, we can't wait to see the award that you get for that as well. And say hi to Diane for us. VE3CWR, Gerard.
Yeah, good evening to all. We had a pretty busy day today. We did our groceries at 7. And then we did some food bank drop-offs this morning to a couple of apartments in town. And went for the mail this afternoon, a little walk, and walked around the block. Staggered around the block, I should say, I guess. But anyway, all in all, a pretty good day. Wife and I enjoyed it. She's house cleaning, so I've been helping her a little bit as I can. But anyway, she took today off, and we kind of relaxed this afternoon. We finished all our running around. So that's all we've been up to. So back to you, Net Control. Larry, go ahead.
Very good there, Gerard. When you said you were helping your wife, I thought you were going to say you were staying out of her way so you wouldn't impede progress. VE3 LWJ Larry.
Yes, it's Larry, VE3LWJ. I'm noticing quite a difference between your voice on my handheld and seeing you talking on the screen here. Quite a delay. It's certainly more than 3 seconds. Yes, it was a lovely day. I went for a walk around the block, and I'm looking forward to the tour of your shack, your radio shack. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, well, Larry, when I start, do me a favor, don't blink, otherwise you'll miss it. And very good. Yeah, I guess it depends on how busy YouTube is. Uh, I guess when we started, it may have been more of a delay than yesterday. So it does keep it up at the same pace, but the delay may have been more than it was yesterday. And I guess you can't complain for a free service. VE3 IRB Robert.
Well, personally, I had a good day. I've got my cell phone with me up in the bedroom here so I can check into YouTube and see the Grand Tour. That's all for me. BE3IRB, back to you.
Bob, you say so much on Facebook, but hardly a peep on the radio. We gotta fix that problem. Let's see. VA3 RTV.
Yes, good evening, Laird, and everybody else on frequency. And yeah, I've had a good day. Been cutting a bit more of my tree down, the one that fell around Christmas time, and been out on my bike for an hour or so. And I was just going to say about your fuel pump, because I used to do a lot of car repairs. If I suspected the fuel pump, what I would do is I just give it a good wallop, and if it actually started ticking away, I would then just get it to a place where I can get a new pump fitted. So, but any case, and that place I would take it to is a garage, or a garage, as we say. Back to you, Led.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think the only problem with this fuel tank, though, is it's right inside the tank. So I'm not sure if we can get to a place where you can give it a wallop. Because I think most of it's inside the tank and just a little bit on the outside. But I'll find out on Monday or Tuesday when I pick it up. VA3 TPS, Steve.
Okay, VE3LKS, VE3 TPS. Good evening, Laird, and to everybody on frequency. Nice to hear everybody again. I noticed your banner is down there that you had your political banner you had hanging in the back of your shack. Anyways, not so much. It's a beautiful day up here. We spent about 3 hours outside working around, cleaning up, and doing some repairs in the winter. And actually just sat in the sun for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and had a cold one. I really enjoyed that. And it's a shame about our Hamfest, but I guess we knew that was coming. It was just a matter of time. But that's about it for up here, Laird. Back to you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I had to take the banner down because the guys want a tour of the presidential shack tonight, and so I thought I'd show them all the doodads and thingamajigs that I've got all over the shelves that are you can see behind me there. So it was hanging down actually right in front of that, so it would have been hard to maneuver. But we'll think of something later on, Steve, and try not to let you guys down. Now VE3KZT. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it's a bit better. I can make you out a bit better.
Okay, well, try and jack up some more power here. Okay, U3KZT, glad to know.
Okay, yeah, it's still a bit hard, but at least I can make out your call sign in that. So, welcome to the net this evening. I'll have to look up your call when I'm done here. But welcome to the North Shore Rag Chew. We nicknamed it the COVID-19 Rag Chew. We will be doing it every weeknight at 7 o'clock for the duration of this epidemic or pandemic or whatever you want to call it. Just to keep everyone sort of socializing, and if anyone needs help, they can reach out and request it. And I believe VA3 BAH is in there. I heard his Node Connect. Brian, how's it going this evening? I even got your name right.
Well, I'm impressed, Leonard. Thank you. I was starting to wonder when you had that brain fart last night. Anyways, it's a beautiful day here in Kingston. The sun is shining. Had a chance to talk to a couple of clients that just made it back from Mexico, and a bit of an ordeal connecting through the U.S. of A., but it only took them 10 to clear customs at Toronto Pearson. So they're happy they're back home, even though they do have to stay indoors for the next 14 days. And speaking of beers, I've got a naughty neighbor IPA beside as we speak, and the YL is upstairs catching up on Coronation Street. So does it get any better than that? Back to you.
Absolutely not. That's good, and glad to have you in with us. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that they're making sure people are quarantining. There's been some horror stories about people not abiding by that. So let's hope everyone does for the sake of everybody. But yeah, it was a beautiful day out here. Can't argue with that. Let's take a standby and see if there's anybody else that would like to join in on the Rag Chew this evening. If so, please come now.
ITX, and 3JFW. U3KSG. VE3DGJ.
Okay, I've got VE3HIX, that's Bob. I've got VE3IGX, that's Cam. I've got VA3JFW, that's Jack. I've got a call that I'm not familiar with, VA3KSG, good evening, sir. And VE3VGJ Joe. Is there anybody else that would like to check in with the Rag Chew? Okay, very good. Well, before we go back to the top of the list, we'll take these guys. Bob, VE3HIX, good evening.
Good evening, Larry. Good evening, everyone. A great day. Feeling better and got out for walks and did more activities outside. A question, I think it was Brian. Is it Brian Hopkins in Kingston, the E3BAH, who wanted a copy of IAX RPT to install on a PC? Is that you a couple of evenings ago, Brian?
Yeah, if I may, Larry.
Yep, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Bob and that was me, but I don't need a copy. That's what I'm using right now on my PC. I'm able to connect to OSH without any problem at all, but I'm trying to use the same program to connect to the repeater in Belleville and the repeater in Picton in Prince Edward County. And for some reason, it's not allowing me to. It's exactly the same setup for OSH and NAA. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. I was trying to find support, and I found out that the guys who put this program together aren't around anymore. Over. Back to you.
Yes, I found online that the xelatc.com site is long gone, but there are so many other pieces online. I thought you needed another copy, and of course it's not available from there anymore. So there are copies available from another site that I'm going to send you an email right now. And it has a write-up there on many other things that you can do with it as well in that same PDF file. So I take it I can get you at ve3kbn.com. Sorry, prez at ve3kbr.com. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, so it's PRES at ve3kbr.com, or just direct, because that's just a vanity. Mine is Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Alpha Hotel at hotmail.com is preferred, if you don't mind, Bob. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, Brian, thanks. I'll send you that right
Victor
now.
Alpha 3 Kilo
Email. Back to you, Laird. Thanks very much.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Papa Whiskey.
Okay, Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Papa Whiskey. Go ahead.
Good evening. I came on at 8 o'clock and transmitted. A couple of times I transmitted, then I looked at the options and found that my microphone level was at 0. I don't know why it did that, because I had it set up yesterday beautifully. And so far your shack looks pretty good, Laird.
Okay, very good. Now, you're the friend of Larry's, I believe. And let me see. I know I wrote you down. Paul is your name. It's a good thing I keep notes, because until I get to know people, I have a hard time putting call signs to faces. But glad to have you aboard again tonight, Paul. No, now which way did I go? And very good. We'll add you to the list here, and we'll get to. We'll make sure you get in the rotation here. And yeah, it's the guys wanted a tour, so I had to do some modifications to my shack so I could show them everything tonight. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up. Let's see. We left off with Bob, I believe. So VE3IGX, Cam.
Good evening, Laird. I'm waiting for that tour of the shack also. And I want to say hi to everyone that's on the net tonight. And you had me laughing there last night. I almost didn't make it to the bathroom when I said to you, good night, John Boy, and you come back, good night, Mary Ellen. You had me laughing. Pretty good. So we give it on back to you, VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Very good. Yes, the good old Waltons. I love that show, man. That was one that our family watched every week religiously, and it was a good, wholesome show, and it was quite enjoyable. Very good, Cam. Well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow, and we can take shots at each other then too. Let's see, Jack, VA3JFW. Good evening, sir.
I cannot find you. Are you live again tonight? Because I cannot find it.
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. So if you just go to youtube.com and then search for VE3LKS, that's Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, you should find the live stream there. Let's see. I think who mentioned that they were watching it too? I think Joe may even be watching it. Joe, are you watching it?
QSL there, Larry.
And am I correct in my instructions? I've never searched for myself.
Yeah, it comes up, and then there's when it comes up my screen, there's two V's with a circle in it, and I click on the V in the top left. It's sort of just a little window there, and then it opens up to your site, and then the one that's running tonight comes off in the corner that shows live, and the testing and the one you ran last night are down below, and I guess they're recorded, so you can watch them again, but the one you're on now is in the one corner, and it shows live, and plus you've got the information on it, the rag chew and the date.
Okay, very good. Did you catch all that, Jack?
Yeah, well, as far as I know, it comes up last night. Episode, but I don't see the one you're on right now for some reason.
Oh, okay. We'll just keep playing around a bit, and it's not. I think the guys were saying it's more than a 3-second delay too. So once you do get it, it will be more than a 3-second delay from like it was last night. Let's see, VA3KSG.
Yeah, VA3KSG. How you
Oh,
doing there? That's kind of silly girl at this end. I think you're starting to catch on who it really is, but anyway, give it a try and see if you can get it there, Larry. Over to you, VA3KSG.
yeah, kind of silly girl, really pretty nurse. Yeah, okay. The voice gives you away. Very good, Scott. I was trying to figure out who the heck is that, but glad to have you aboard tonight.
Thanks, Larry. I'm just on with the young lads, so I'll go ahead with the rank. I'll be right with you there. Have a good one.
Okay, very good. VE3VGJ, Joe, welcome.
Good evening, Larry, and everybody on frequency. Yeah, you sure got a lot checking in tonight. That's great. Yeah, I got home today and went out and looked at some work I have to do on the lawn and touched up a little bit of work. The plow took some of the sod up, just like you would be at a sod farm, so that's how I'm going to be laid down again. Also, I was talking with my niece, and she uses that program you were trying the other day, Zoom, to use it at work, and got a little information, so we can touch base on that later. It might be helpful. And I was also mentioning my neighbors. They finally got back from down south yesterday. They drove back home. And I was talking to my other neighbor. He says they went right in the house, buttoned things up there, and they had a bunch of groceries delivered to their place. So they're doing their self-quarantine there just in case. I guess it's for 14 days. And looking forward to the tour of your shack there, Laird. There's something that my curiosity's got me there. Above your right-hand shoulder, hanging on the wall, there's something red in a package, and I just can't quite get the definition of it, or what it is.
So right there, I think that's what you're referring to. Those are Velcro strips for tying up cables and stuff. When I was doing some cleanup a couple of weeks ago, I used to have all sorts of tall pines. Remember when we were doing the tall pines, Joe? I would put the magazine inside of a picture frame and hang them on the wall. But then I got a new shelving unit, and it was too high. So I took all those pictures down, and there was a few nails up there still, so I used them to just put a few parts and accessories up.
Oh yeah, Roger on that. Very good. Yeah, I can see that the Velcro strips now. I've got some of the similar things, but they didn't come in a package like that. And yes, good memories of the tall pines there. We had a lot of fun those days.
Yes, very good. And for anyone listening online tonight, I don't know if John's listening, but if he is, John, welcome to the Rag Chew. And I don't know if Carl's listening, but anybody out there who's listening, glad to have you aboard. And uh, just a little bit of club information I got to pass along. You'll see just right above my head here, I made up a little sign. I don't know if you guys can read that or not. Joe, is that readable?
What, Solomon Deacon? That one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I can even make out the making amateur radio great again.
Okay, very good. Yes, we've been looking for a vice president for the last little while, and John Deacon has stepped forward. He's not a licensed ham, but there's nothing in our bylaws that says you have to be on the executive. So he volunteered to be the vice president. So probably when I send out the next newsletter, I'll be asking all the members to either vote back with a yay or a nay if they're for him taking office. And John and I will be, I guess, tearing up the North Shore Amateur Radio Club for a couple of years together. Now, with that being said, now we already talked to Paul. We'll throw Paul in there again. VA3KPW. And it's strange that the volume didn't stay there in your programming.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting, this whole thing. I'm enjoying looking at the video, but the delay sort of bothered me, so I just got the sound turned off. I don't hear that, which is a good thing. And right now there's 13 people watching. We should get one more. We can't have just 13. It just doesn't work. And you doing that sort of makes me think I should try and do it. You can see my shack, which is a computer. VA3KPW.
Well, you know what? Maybe one night we'll do that. People can set up and we can just take turns going to different people's YouTube channel and taking a look at their shacks. That might be a lot of fun. Good idea there, Paul. With that, I'm going to take a short standby and see if there's anyone else that would like to check in with the Rag Chew this evening. This is VE3LKS. Okay, nothing heard, so we will go back to the top of the list to Lee, VE3LSO. Okay, Lee was on a bit earlier, but I know he was going to go chat with his dad, who's also an amateur. So, but he'll be back probably at some point. VE3PWJ, Peter, did you go get the early bird special at Costco today and get more gas?
No, we didn't go. We were near Costco, but we didn't go in. We went up to the bank. There's the Royal Bank. That's as far as it went today. And we came home and did a lot of cleaning up here. And I had the treadmill was on there for about 45 minutes, and I had the mountain bike out for about a half hour too. So I've been running around a little bit, but not visiting anybody, but having fun. So that's what we did today. And I don't know. I still like that real pretty nurse call better than the one I just heard there.
Yeah, I'm just going to stroke that one out, I think, and call him by RPN like he should be. Very good. I'm with you there, man. Now, Pete, you said you got the treadmill and the mountain bike out. Were you just sort of standing there watching them?
Treadmill was down in the basement, and I had the bike out in the sunroom. And took it for a little spin to see if it's still going. So it's in good shape. You can feel the difference on the old legs. Don't get old there. It's not worth it.
Sure, now you tell me. It's too late. Very good, Pete. VE3 CRU, Bill. I hope you've had success fixing your vehicle and that it's maybe not ablaze in the driveway now.
The E3CRU here, Lloyd. I got it charged. I've got it started, and I want to let it run and get in. I don't have my cell phone with me. Call Whitney Toyota, who are only about 3 or 4 blocks from here, and see if they can drop a new battery in it tonight.
Are they even open that late?
I don't know. I'm hoping so. I don't know if anybody else would be open on a Friday night.
Yeah. Well, if they're not open, you can check Canadian Tire or Walmart. But I know a lot of places are even closing early now. A lot of them are closing at 6. But good luck with that, Bill. Let us know how you make out on the next round. VE3JAR, are you still within earshot or you've gone to the other room? Okay, nothing heard from Vic. Why do I have you down here twice, Joe? VE3VGJ, go ahead.
Well, you missed me first round there, Laird, so I thought I'd check in again.
Okay, very good. So I'll cross you off here. No, I'll cross you off the bottom. Go ahead now.
Oh, sure. I'm not ready for it yet. Very good to hear about John taking on the vice president position there. That's great. And other than that, not much else here. Just been watching some of the stuff going on 80 and 40 meters. Looks like a lot of activity tonight on the HF bands there. And also looking forward to the tour of your shack there. Back to you.
Okay, very good. And did those parts come in?
Yeah, I've got it all made up here, and if we touch base there tomorrow, I can hand it off to you. I'll send you a couple pictures there, what it looks like. It'll be up to you to put the Velcro on. That's sort of what you'll do that yourself. But I didn't put feet on them. I just put some rubber cushioning on there right now. I just want to limit my traveling to the hardware store on that. So all made up. It makes it a lot easier to handle. And well, when you see the picture, you'll know what I mean.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I plan to go up to White Feather, probably show up sometime between 8:30 and 8:40, since we can't go in and sit down and eat anyways. And we will practice safe radio in case anyone's concerned. Last week we went up there. It's like a little country store / grocery store. We went in, got our coffee, got our what we wanted to eat, our fritters, and then we went back to our vehicles and just chatted from vehicle to vehicle. So we kept it safe, and we don't believe that any coronaviruses escaped from either vehicle to the other one. Very good, Joe. VE3CWR.
Yeah, okay. Nothing much more to add here. I've just taken a battery pack that has high NIMs in it, taking it apart and replacing it in another battery pack that has dead NiCad. So I just hope the weights don't come down because there's an awful mess of plastic around here. But anyway, I'll clean it up in the morning. Hi. Anyway, guys, take care. God bless and stay safe. E3CWR.
Very good, Gerard. And Larry, LWJ. And if you want to make some comments to your friend Paul, feel free to do so.
Yes, good evening, Paul. Good to hear you on again. I don't have a lot more to add. I did a little woodwork down in the basement today, something I've been putting off for quite a while. A little bench I had that's got quite rickety, so kind of took it apart and glued it back together, and I think that's the end of that. Now I have to paint it. And it was such a nice evening that I barbecued supper. So aside from that, not a lot more to report. So back to you, Larry.
Ooh, I bet you had a lot of neighbors very envious of you. There's nothing better than, especially this time of year, the smell of a barbecue. Very good, Larry. Glad you were able to enjoy the evening and make the most of it. VE3 IRB, Robert.
VE3 IRB, just a suggestion for Bill before he drives off to try to find a battery. I phone these stores. You don't want to go somewhere and get stuck somewhere. Give them a call, see if they're in, see if they're open, and see if they've got a battery. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Bob. Because as I say, a lot of stores are closing a lot earlier than they used to. So better safe than sorry, anyways. Let's see, Jeffrey, VA3 RTV.
Yeah, thank you very much, Led. And I've got your YouTube channel right in front of me, and yeah, it's pretty neat having a audio and visual evening. So that's working well. Yeah, what have I got to say here? Yeah, so yeah, you're absolutely right about John accepting that position as the vice president there, and I think that's great. I understand that John has some of his other hobbies put on hold with this virus thing, so that might give him an interest as well to to get more into the radio side of things. And also, if Brad, if you're listening in, welcome, Brad. I know you're starting to show a bit of an interest in radio, so that's great. And the only other thing is, I don't use the HF very much, but I did use it today, and it's working great. And I did leave it on for a day, and it has actually replenished the backup battery. So now my clock and date and everything stays on when I shut it off. So everything's good. And back to you, Led, and thanks very much for what you do.
Okay, very good. Just out of curiosity, Jeffrey, who was it that mentioned that software that the other night? Whoops, just dropped a radio. There was some software, NA5B. Was that you that mentioned that?
What it was Higgs, Bob. He told me about it. I looked into it, and the first time I just kind of put a home screen to it, but then the other day I looked into it a little further, and it was very good. And I spent a bit of time with it, and I thought this is good, really good. But it's Bob is the one that gets the credit for that, and I think Bob is coming up very, very soon. Okay, thanks, Led.
Okay, very good. I hope other people have taken advantage of that and looked into it as well. Let's see, Steve, VA3 TPS.
Okay, Larry, very good. Just enjoying the conversation here, just hearing everybody on. Just wondering, Larry, are you going to get some red Marga hats made up?
Oh, that's a good idea. We can have more merch for our for the North Shore website. Not only can we have the famous North Shore Amateur Radio Club coffee mugs with your own call sign on it if you want, but we can get some Marga hats made up. That's a great idea. Oh, and I have to do something. I have to do something for Jeffrey because he was asking me about this earlier. So Jeffrey, there. Do you see? I'm wearing pants, and yep, just had to prove to Jeffrey that I was not sitting here in my skivvies.
Thank you very much, but your flights are on down.
Wondering why it was a bit cool down there in the nether regions. Very good. VE3 KZT.
VE3KZT, back to the net. Any better copy this time, Larry? VE3KZT.
Oh yes, totally readable now. That's good. Whatever you've done, it's made a huge improvement.
Okay, good. Well, it's time to check in. That would be John Smith character. Finally got an antenna hooked on the back of this transceiver.
Okay, well, it's working really well now, so excellent, and glad you're checked in with the net tonight. Now, we don't do it for the rest of the weekend, but we will resume again Monday night at 7 o'clock, so we'd love to have you in again. And yeah, whatever you did there made a world of difference, so just remember that on Monday night, and you'll get in no problem. VA3 BAH, Brian. Oh no.
Well, thanks for the second check-in there. Interesting looking at your sack without the great old party flag up there. Now, I'm just curious if you burn it if it touches the ground. Aye.
Oh no, it's not a national flag. It's just a election flag. So not a problem there. And but it's interesting, and maybe I've got some other flags too. I'll have to pull out. I know I've got a few cavalry ones and some other things. So maybe once in a while over the next few weeks, we'll pull out some other flags and hang them up there too, just to as a conversation piece. And we'll go from there. And I don't know what you did, Brian, but this time your audio was so much better. The last time you were talking, it was almost over-modulating. But whatever you did this time, it's beautiful.
I don't think I did anything other than maybe move the. I've got a noise canceling headset here. Maybe I moved the microphone so I could get the pint up to my mouth. But actually, something totally different there. You were talking about TV shows. The Big Bang Theory, because Sheldon was doing his own series on Confederate flags. Back to you.
That's one show I've never watched a single episode of, but everyone talks about it. So if I get bored during this coop up, I may just have to start doing that. And I'm surprised you haven't mentioned anything about my hat that I just slipped on a few minutes ago. Anyways, let's see, VE3HIX.
Okay, thanks very much. Brian, I'm glad you got my message. I tried twice to send it to your other Hotmail address, and it kept bouncing back, so I must have done something wrong. But you got it at the pres at ve3kbr.com. I hope you can use that document. It goes into more detail of setup and the stuff I do, and perhaps there's different reasons behind it. And for the other online SDR receivers, I would recommend everybody just Google that and give them a shot. There are hundreds of them around the world. You can listen as if you were in just about any country in the world and see what's coming through the radio there in AM, sideband, CW, whatever. And as I say, some of them are within range of here, a nice range with one easy hop, so you can send your own signal out and see what it looks like and sounds like at the other end. And we'll let you get back to that later, VE3HIX.
Yeah, definitely have to look at playing with that a bit, and when I get time, because unfortunately I'm still working. But a thought crossed my mind today. My hair is beautifully coiffed right now, but what's going to happen, in a few weeks when the barbershops and the hairdressers are still not open? We're going to have some scraggly looking people walking around. So I wonder if they're going to make an exception and call them essential workers and let them go back and cut our hair. Let's see. VE3IGX Cam. And are you going to join us in the morning, Cam? Why is it doing that?
Don't know about that yet. I didn't have to do any spring cleaning today, but last night I was on YouTube and I found the VE3OSH amateur radio course. I think it was given maybe 2 got all the programs. There were 7 sessions there, and I did number 1 session this morning for an hour and 37 minutes. And at the end, they give me homework to do. Now I got 3 chapters I got to read before I get to the next one. Okay, we'll give it on back to you.
Online education there, Cam. And no pressure, but if you fail the test, you lose your license. Hi. Very good. Yeah, no pressure about the morning. It's totally up to anybody, whether they want to join us or not. If you want to see another live human being, why did my camera keep freezing tonight? I don't know. I've got to have to figure that out. Jack, VA3JFW.
Just about time I'm going to be going to another net from Australia. The worldwide check net. I looked at your hat there. I had an OSH hat. I don't think they made them. I think I had mine done. Got this done. So but the thing is, I don't know whether everything in my stuff is in storage. And I don't know if it's still there or not. Anyway, thanks for, and I got, by the way, I found the site here. Even though it's frozen, I found it. Well, thanks very much, Larry, for letting me in. And I'll be leaving here very shortly. Note 9229. VA3FW.
Okay, very good, Jack. With that, I'll tell you what. Why don't I do that right now? Because we are getting close to 8, and some people have to leave. So I will grab the camera and start to do a roundabout. So just give me a second. Things are going to go all haywire for a second, and hopefully it won't freeze up again. Oh, come on, don't do this. Figures. Hold on. Okay, Joe, VE3VGJ, can you see that online there?
Yeah, it just came back, Larry. It was trying to connect, and now I'm seeing your screen and a screen and a screen and a screen and the Samsung monitor.
Yes, to infinity and beyond. Okay, so this is what I look at when I'm talking to you guys, and I do have a desk lamp right there, and my computer and telephone are right there. Yeah, wires everywhere. Typical ham shack. There's my weather monitor. It's got something in front of it right now. That's where I that's where I put my webcam, and I need to put another little remote control there against it, so that I can tilt the camera properly. There's a printer that I use for printing needs, one of them anyways. There's the webcam that I'm using for the microphone. And down below we have the microphone for my HF radio. It's It's a MFJ mic, and it works really quite well. Up here, let me see here. Oh, come on. Okay, it's still working. I went blank on the screen, so I'll have to just look at the screen. Here's my power supply that I have, one of them anyways, for my HF radio. It's an MFJ. Back in here is a power supply that a friend made for me way back when I took the course. Peter Boersma, I forget his call. He made that out of just scrap parts that they had, and it's crazy how good that is. That's been turned on just about every minute since about 1990, and I never turn it off, and it just plugs away, and it runs a few of my little radios. Right here, don't mind me for a second, I got to keep on turning around looking at the screen. That's my APRS station that you'll see on aprs.fi. That beacons my home location. It's the iGate, and so it sucks in signals from people passing by and puts them on the internet. This is my Kenwood radio that I'm talking on right now, and it does a good job. It used to be the radio in my main vehicle, because it's got dual radios. As you can see, the one on the right is APRS. It's not doing anything right now. But I got the FTM 400 and replaced that. Hold on. Just had to switch hands, and I know the audio is not going to line up here, but here's some other stuff I have. There's an MFJ tuner, analyzer. I've got my little Baofeng radio there. Over here in this blue box is some more spare radios. You can never have enough radios. Test equipment up here like meters and stuff. Getting down to the good stuff. Here we have my SWR meter for one of the HF radios, and it works quite well. Just stand by. Down below it is my automatic tuner that I have hooked up to my Yaesu FT450. Vic should be familiar with that. And this is an amazing little tuner. It'll tune just about anything. There's my FT450D, and nice little radio. I use it mainly for FT8, but I can also use it for voice real quickly. And sitting next to it is my Signal Link USB, used for the digital modes. And down below that, I've got an ICOM 728. It's the oldest radio I think I've got that's working right now. And haven't used it in a while, but it's nice. It's got an auto tuner on it as well. It's actually got a better auto tuner than the FT450 does. That's why I had to get the external auto tuner. Now, I'm hoping you can see this. Oh yeah, you can see that back there. It's a blaze of wires, just big coax. Right here is going to be the, that's my 40 meter vertical that I built. And in behind that is an antenna switch for my MFJ. I'm just going to drop it here. Yeah, so that's an antenna switch that I can have 6 antennas and 6 radios hooked up at the same time. You can only use one of each, so you choose which antenna you want and which radio you want, and you can chat away. But the nice thing about it is you don't have to be swapping coax between radios. So if I want to put the ICOM on and use my 40 meter vertical, it's just a matter of switching 2 knobs and away I go. So I really enjoy that. And let's see, what other goodies do I have in here that I can show you? Up here I've got my dollar store collection. These are all bins that are full of different radios. I try to mark them as good as possible, so that if I'm looking for a particular radio, I know exactly where to find it. And let's see, is there anything down here that's interesting? Let's see. Oh, there's my, this unit right here is my hotspot for digital radio, And so if you, I can use that with my Radiodity, and I go out on the internet. And stand by. Okay, and then on the back wall here, I've got all this other good stuff. Oh, hold on. I've got my right over here beside the Canadian flag is my licenses. That's that fun sign I was telling you about. And then over here we've got again all sorts of little dollar store bins with all sorts of bits and baubles in it. And it's great to store stuff in, because when you want to find something, it makes it a lot easier to find something and they're not falling all over the shack. And you'll see going down, there's more stuff, binders. Got a bookshelf over here with a bunch of stuff in it. And let's see. Yeah, so over here on the other shelf, again, just more bits and baubles. QSL cards, business cards. These ammo boxes make great boxes to store stuff in. As a matter of fact, they hold these little dollar store boxes just perfectly. I think you can fit 4 or 5 of them in there standing up. And so I use those a lot for putting radios in. So if we have to go to an event, I can just put them in. And then there's also that bag of goodies there is all club stuff. So that's about it. Let me take a standby. Okay, so that's about it for the shack tour. I told you nothing special. It's very small, but it works well for me anyways. And everything is just easily within hand reach. So it worked out real well for me. So with that, we will go down to the next person on the list, VE3RPN, Scott.
Thanks, Larry. V3RPM. Back to the old call. Thanks, buddy. That was a really good tour. Yeah, your ham shack's got a couple more things than I got in mine. Mine's got a giant freezer right beside it, which is fine, but you know me and food. Well, I'm a member of the North Shore. I love my food, so it's right next to the freezer. Unfortunately, ice cream bars and stuff don't last long for some reason. Anyway, thanks a lot, buddy. It's been a great rag chew. My teeth are sore, though I got to get a new rag. Have a great night. We'll be listening. The E3RPN. Thanks a lot.
Oh, good. You had me worried there for a minute, Scotty. I thought you were going to tell me that's where the bodies are kept, but I'm glad it's just ice cream bars. Yeah, you must have the same problem with mice that I have. These mice must just be super huge, because stuff like that disappears out of my freezer too. Let's see. VA3 KPW, Paul. Okay, I think we may have lost Paul for the evening, but okay, it is 8 o'clock. I'll take one more call for check-ins. Anybody want to check into the Rag Chew this evening? This will be your last opportunity. This is Laird, VE3LKS. Okay, we'll get to you in a minute, Bill. The other station? There was another station in there too?
E3FJC.
Oh. Okay, I acknowledge VE3FGC, Walter. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to take the recheck on Bill, and then we'll get to you, Walter. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay there with your long shack tour that I couldn't see. I'm in the vehicle, looked the door was closed. I do have some options here, but the first thing before I forget, is it official that the Durham Hamfest is canceled? Over.
Oh, good point. When Steve mentioned that, I was going to elaborate on that. Yes, the town of Pickering has decided that everything will be canceled well into May. So at this point, we cannot get in there. So the Hamfest is officially canceled, and we will be sending out notification about that.
Thank you very much. Okay, to get back to my car situation, I'm getting old, I'm getting forgetful. I do have a 2 kilowatt generator that I'm not supposed to be lifting. The doctor didn't said because of my wrist problem I shouldn't be lifting it. That I could put in the car with the battery charger. I do have CAA, and I forgot sitting right in front of the garage door is a brand new but 3-year-old battery that I never did like. It's never been in the vehicle. And it's on charge now, and I think it will hold the charge all weekend and that. So they say if I do want to go out, I can, as long as I put my booster cables in, I should be set, ready to go. I should not have a problem. So thank you very much, everybody, for your advice. And as they say, one way or another, we're on the road. We'll manage. Probably wait until next week before I get a battery. 730 all, BE3CRU, we're clear.
Okay, very good, Bill. One thing you'll want to check is check with CAA about the battery because they'll install it for free. And I don't know if they'll do it on another battery that you already have, but if you buy a battery from them, they'll install it too. So just something to think about. VE3FJC Walter, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Laird, and everybody on net. I wanted to get a hold of Jack, JSW, but I imagine he's gone to the other net now. So just say hello, goodbye from Oshawa.
Okay, well, let's just take a quick call. Jack, are you still around? No, you're right, Walter. He may have gone. Okay, let's go to the top of the list, gentlemen, and we'll just do one more quick run through. No elaborate speeches or anything. Just your final thoughts for the evening. VE3 LSO. Okay, Lee must still be chatting with his dad. VE3 PWJ.
Another great net there again, as always, Laird. And I have any battery trouble. I have one of those little jump starters I got at Costco a little while ago. Those things really work neat. I didn't have a whole lot of faith in it until I went over to son-in-law's boat with starter over at Whitby Harbor. So I took that thing and it started at V8 like nobody's business. It's amazing how those little batteries will crank a thing like that. So I keep it in the car just in case. But I just put a new battery in the Mazda about a month and a half ago. So that was a Costco deal, that one. Anyway, have a good evening, and I think there may be some thunderstorms over the weekend, so you may want to undo a few antennas there, Laird. So 7-3 from here, and we'll talk to you next week, Laird.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I heard that we might get some storms tonight, but that's good. We probably need it. And it looks like I don't know when Alex checked in on the online. I have a hard time keeping everything going here. There's too much on the go. But Alex, AMP, hi to you. I'm tisk. I'm not joining in on the rag chew, but we'll leave it at that. Vic, VE3JAR. Okay, nothing. I know Vic was going to be off in the other room there. So Joe, VE3VGJ.
Good evening, Laird, and thank you very much again for the tour. It was great, and great you running this RagChew/net. Enjoy it, look forward to it, and I'll be looking forward to it Monday. One question about your shack. There's a mug behind the tape measures on the one desk just to the left of the power supply you there and some duct tape. Where was that mug from?
Oh, come on. Stand by, Joe. Okay, are you talking about that mug right there, Joe?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yep.
Okay, I was wondering if I was going to get any requests for more of a explanation on that. Many moons ago, when I was in school, um, you know, I had to take those elective classes. Well, I took an art class, and part of it was doing pottery. And the teacher wanted us to make a. It's almost. I guess you could call it a mug. It's almost like a little planter. And he said he wanted us to make it of you know, someone that we knew, you know, maybe someone famous or something. So I did that up, and when we were all done, you know, and it took us like a week or two to do those. Um, we had to explain what they were. Well, you know, people had famous actors, you know, like uh, you know, the guy who played Fonzie and stuff like that. You know, they had tried to make their mug look like them. And when it came to mine, he says, "I don't think I recognize this guy." And I said, "Well, do you ever look in the mirror first thing in the morning?" And he just started howling. Needless to say, I got an A.
Well, very good on that. That's a good one. You had some fun with it and some humor there. Anyway, great you're running the right through here there. Have a good weekend. Well, we'll see you there tomorrow morning, most likely. Let me know they're on the radio on if they are open. Even though I still have to get some more frozen vegetables and that up there, so I do have the reason to go there. 7-3 from Bowmanville, DE3 BGJ.
Okay, very good, Joe. Gerard, BE3 CWR. Oh, Gerard must be gone. VE3 LWJ Larry.
Yes, it's Larry. Really impressed with your Radio Shack. Heaven's sakes, you've got a lot of stuff. I look at mine, I have 3 radios, a microphone, and a power supply. I'm reminded of one of Joan's friends that we met one time, one of her nursing friends. And Joan told her that I'd gotten into ham, and apparently this gal's husband was a ham. And she just shook her head and said, "Watch out, they tend to acquire legs. They expand." Anyway, appreciate you running the net again, Laird, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll say 73 for now. DE3 LWJ.
Okay, very good, Larry. Yeah, you tend to accumulate stuff and not get rid of anything. That's sort of part of the hobby, I think. Um, VE3 IRB, Robert.
VE3 IRB, thanks for the tour, and it's great to hear about John being the vice president. One question, White Feathered, do they have takeout breakfast in the morning, or is that completely closed?
No, they had takeout last week. You just can't sit down in the dining room.
Okay, you may or may not see me. And with that, 73, BE3 IRB.
Okay, very good, Bob. Either way is good with us, and we hope we do get to have an eyeball. VA3 RTV, Jeffrey.
Yeah, thanks very much, Laird. And when Bill was talking about his battery issue, it reminded me of quite an embarrassing situation that you helped me out when we were up at Purple Woods. The Miata wouldn't start, and you had these little batteries that were very low power, and we put this tiny little battery across my car battery, and it started the Miata. So I think you remember that. Have a good evening. All the best.
Yes, I think that shocked all of us up there when that happened. But as you say, all you got to do is just get it over the hump and it'll start. So if it's just under the hump, all you need is a little bit and it'll go. So yeah, that was funny. VA3 TPS, Steve.
Okay, Larry, well, thank you very much. Another great job on the net there. You're turning into one heck of a net controller. We really appreciate the time and effort that you put in. Very good on your shack tour. I'll say 7-3 to you and everybody on frequency. Everybody have a great weekend and be safe. Careful out there. Hopefully this thing will get better soon. 7-3 and take care. VA3 TPS 07.
Yes, well, hurry up and finish off your shack there, Steve, and put us all to shame. And we'll let you do a little tour one night for us. Very good, Steve. Glad to have you in here. VE3 KZT.
VE3 KZT. Back to the net. I guess I got no more power. Just going to drop some power again. You copy there now, there? VE3 KZT.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as the last time, but it's still readable.
VE3 KZT back to net. Is that any better?
Yes, that is better.
Okay, well, this will take me a minute or two, a day or two, a week or two to get this thing set up. 7 threes, and good job on the net. And we'll look for you Monday.
Excellent. Hope to see you then, or at least hear you, since we can't see each other. But yeah, no, glad to have you on board. VA3 BAH. Oh, what was his name again? Ralph? No. Doug O'Brien.
Just don't call me late for dinner. Anyways, this is the rapid fire round. Quick questions for you. I noticed a hammer and a set of front blocks in your shack. What's that for? The tubes don't warm up, you just give it a smack on the side. And the other thing, down off of Hopkins Street, is that where you get the bug? And then finally, lastly, your bylaws, can't you appoint your vice president until the next go-around? About that, back to you.
Yeah, I think someone was doing club jackets and that and hats down there on Hopkins, of all places. I didn't quite understand what you were saying about the bylaws.
Well, in the Kingston Club, we don't have a vice president right now either. And if I found someone that was inclined to volunteer, I can actually appoint until the end of the term, which is in December. I just wondered if the Oshawa bylaws would allow you to do the same thing without having to go back to the membership to ratify it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I'd have to look into that. Actually, maybe Steve, if he's still listening, he could look into that because he just went through a couple years ago and changed all those. But it'd be nice to have it voted on too. Um, and I don't think there's going to be an issue. Um, Heck, I've been trying to get impeached for the last 2 years, and people just keep on saying, no, it's okay, keep on going. So I don't know what a guy's got to do to get impeached. Anyways, thanks for joining us this evening, Brian, and hope to hear you on Monday night. VE3HIX, Bob.
Oh, very good, Laird. Nice evening, long evening. Things have turned out very well. Nice tour of the shack. The only thing I noticed, there seems to be a large Kent Morse code key missing. It must be somewhere. And with that, we'll say 7-3, everybody, and back to you, Laird.
Yeah, some rapscallion borrowed it, and well, at least it's getting put to good use. The good thing, Bob, is this guy who took off with it, absconded with it. He's got it looking better than it ever was. I mean, the guy polished it, waxed it, you know, redid the some of the wiring underneath, and you know, I just don't have the nerve to ask him to bring it back. But as long as he's enjoying it, that's all that matters. It's getting put to good use. Let's see. Gotta figure out where it was. Cam, VE3IGX.
Okay, Laird, enjoyed the tour of your shack. Very nice. And I'll say 73 to everybody, and I'll be clear. VE3IGX.
Okay, very good, Cam. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. It's nice to hear you as always. VA3JFW, are you back? Okay, nothing heard. I know Jack's got another net this time of night, so he's probably off on there. VA3KSG, Scott. RPN, Scott? Oh, I hope Scott didn't fall into the freezer and can't get out. Oh well. If you hear me, Scotty, have an ice cream bar on me while you're in there. VA3 KPW, Paul. Oh, it sounds like Paul's gone too. Walter, VE3 FJC. Okay, I guess it's just me here by myself now, talking, you know. It's just like being at home. Well, I am at home. Anyway, 73s, guys, it's been fun. Maybe we'll chat again sometime on the weekend, but the next COVID-19 Rag Chew will be Monday night at 7 o'clock. Talk to you then. This is VE3 LKS.
VA3KDK.
Okay, I copy VA3 DCE, that's Doug up in Uxbridge, and VA3 KDK Clint. Good to hear you guys in there this evening. Take it away, Doug.
I was going to suggest if you want to get impeached, maybe you should put the banner back up and wear the hat more often. Oh, by the way, are you taking orders for that hat? I'd like one of those hats myself. Anyway, I listened to the last part there. I must have a pretty weak signal because I got walked on last time I tried to check in. But anyway, sounds good what I heard, Laird. So thank you very much. I will talk to you again maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. Anyway, VA3DC E73.
Oh, my webcam froze up again. I don't know why it's there. There you go, Doug. If you're looking, I put the hat back on just for you, buddy. And believe it or not, I found this at the Curtis Flea Market, of all places. But that's where I found it. So now you know where to go to get one of these babies. Clint, VA3KDK, good evening.
Good evening, Laird. I've had the radio on, but stupid me, I've had, because it's the commercial radio I'm using in the house, I've had it on the bus frequencies there. So I kept on missing you and not realizing it. Are we linked by chance? I'm hearing the different courtesy tones.
Well, I know BAH was coming in on the IAX RPT, and so was Paul, VA3KPW. So I don't know if that's doing anything, but you're right. That almost sounds like a link that's maybe going to another repeater. If you got the sequence, you can see if it'll tell us which ones are linked.
That would do me no good at all because, in fact, like I said, I'm on the commercial radio, so no TPMF. I'm on one of them newer Kenwood next edge units that I've repurposed for ham as well as the bus company. But yeah, I happened to get my hands on one of them before a couple of buses got scrapped, and it just happened to be one of those radios before the changeover to, because now we're first students, no more Campo. I don't know if I told you or not, but it sounds like we're linked. I didn't know if we had NAA backlinked in, or if possibly no, that's not the NAA. Yeah, I don't think. I'm wondering maybe the controller switched over and keep forgetting to comment out all the NAA stuff.
Nope, it's on OSH. Very good. Well, what's the code to get a list of all the linked stations? And I can do it on mine.
I think it's *73.
Okay, standby. VE3LKS.
Node 27838, node VA3BAH, transceive.
Okay, so it sounds like Brian's still in there, hooked up to us.
Yes, sir. Just eavesdropping.
Yep, no problem. We were just trying to figure out why we're getting a courtesy tone. Very good. Eavesdrop all you want and join the conversation too if you want. And with that, guys, I'm going to say 73 because I'm going to go upstairs and watch a bit of television and get ready for a trip up the White Feather tomorrow to get a coffee and a fritter.
Recheck, Laird.
Go ahead with the recheck.
Yeah, Laird, VA3 TPS. Just so you know, you're right in what you've done. Page 2, Section 4 of the bylaws, the Board of Directors, however their absentee occurs, may appoint a qualified member of the corporation to fulfill that position, or all wait until the next annual election.
Oh, okay. So I can just assign them then according to that. Now, can you have an election anytime you want, though? Like, I know usually we have our elections in, I think, November, but can we have one at any time if a position becomes available?
Yes, it says actually to be filled by the directors, so I guess it's the executive, the remaining executive, as long as you have a quorum, can appoint one. And if not, then you should call a meeting of the members to fill the vacancy. You have to call an annual, I guess, special meeting to fill that vacancy, but the directors can appoint it if they wish.
Okay, maybe that's the way we'll have to go then, because we won't be able to call a meeting anytime soon. And I'm not sure, well, I mean, if I emailed it out to everybody and just tallied those that responded, do you think that would qualify?
Well, I would say if you mailed everybody, notified them that nobody had inquired about it except for John,